With just a doubleheader left on Monday Night Football here in Week 2, we had 11 out of 14 matchups yesterday finish within one score of each other, so a lot of thrilling close finishes, and we've got a few new players on the top 10 players going up in football card values this week using the eBay sold items as our reference point, so let's dig in. Number 1, Puka Nacua. The Rams' fifth-round rookie wide receiver Puka Nacua followed up his 10-catch performance in Week 1 with another remarkable outing, racking up 15 for 147 yards. This 25 receptions through 2 games are the most in NFL history through a player's first 2 games, comfortably surpassing the previous high mark of 19. The Rams were, once again, very competitive against a tough division rival in the 49ers, ultimately following 30-23 in Week 2. The offensive line kept Matt Stafford upright and cleared lanes for rookie running back, or second-year running back Kyren Williams against a ferocious 49ers defensive front. And you can see the Puka Nacua Leaf All-American card that was at $70 last week. What's at $100 this week? If you look at some of his base Prism draft picks cards, these are college uniform, but they do have that RC shield in the top right. They do have the Prism design and pro uniform design here. $22 in auction on game day. Wildly different than what this buy it now shows at $3. You've got turn of the century rookie autos here for $110 out of $99. This is going to be his premium chase card right now with such a limited rookie card supply because we do have pro uniforms, rookie card shield, rookie auto. Nice foil chrome design here and a serial number out of 99. Results for that card going back to before the season started just 2 weeks ago was about a $37 card, $35 card. But now you can see some absolutely insane prices for these Puka Nacua rookie autos. That same card going for $110. So we're seeing a 300 to 400% increase across the board in average resale value of Puka Nacua rookie cards. Number 2, once again finding his way to the top 10, is Brock Purdy. The 49ers now 2-0. San Francisco was running wild in the open field for much of this second half against the Rams. Purdy to Deebo Samuel, finishing with 7 receptions, 75 yards, and 3 forced missed tackles on first review. Brandon Ayuk got a little dinged up in the first half, but he battled through it, came back. Deebo also added 4 carries for 33 yards, another forced missed tackle as the league's best wide back was the go-to player to close out the game. Christian McCaffrey smashed once again. Ultimately, look at Brock Purdy values on his graded market here. Base Prism up almost 50% to a new trend of $160. You can see that chart over the past month. The buy it now is now at $180. Auctions $187. The base Optic PSA 10 up over 100 to a new trend of 122. The base Mosaic PSA 10 up over 100, up 46% to a new trend of 104. Check out this rookie auto red shimmer out of 35, PSA 8 auto 10. Buy it now for $1,700 on game day. Optic rookie ticket auto PSA 9, $665. In fact, if we go back before the season started, look at that silver prism rookie ticket auto for Brock Purdy, selling for around $535. Then September 10th, going up to $900. September 11th, we have a PSA 9 closing an auction for $713. September 15th, just 2 days before the game, we have one selling a buy it now for $900. One of Brock Purdy's largest transactions the past 90 days was this card that sold on Friday is the National Treasures, part of the 49ers patch in the card. It's number 10 out of 20. It's the midnight variation here. On-card rookie patch auto, $10,750. Buy it now, sold. Hey, real quick, if you're new here, welcome to the Football Card Quest. My name is Andy. If you want to learn how to make laser-focused football card investments and parlay your fantasy football knowledge with profiting from football cards and being able to build that personal collection, maybe chase some grail cards, then you definitely want to subscribe to this channel. And you also want to check out everything that we're doing for our premium members through patreon.com/footballcards. We've got exclusive content. We've got a web app. We've got a Discord server. We've got all kinds of good information. and bonuses and perks in there for those members. So be sure to check that out in the description below. Okay, guys, back to the action. Little bump in the Deebo Samuel market. However, he has been very hyped going back to 2021. But you can see a 2019 flawless collegiate rookie patch auto out of 5 RPA selling for $300 in a well-timed auction on game day. And this 1/1 printing plate from 2019 Trinity here, $450. Number 3, once again finding the top 10, is Tua. In primetime Sunday Night Football, 1 week after throwing for over 450 yards, he is on it once again. This week he went for 21 of 30 for 249 passing yards, a touchdown, and 1 INT. The Tua to Tyreek combination is starting to look automatic. Tua finished with a solid 92.2 quarterback rating, helped by Raheem Mostert smashing on 18 carries, 121 yards, 6.7 yards per carries, and 2 touchdowns. Now the Dolphins are 2-0 through 2 big-time games, and the Tua Optic Holo PSA 10, for example, is up 37%, up to a new trend of $242, or the Green Mosaic PSA 10, up almost to $100, a change of 35%. Base Mosaic up to a respectable $40 finally. Even a Prism Emergent, people are starting to just buy those PSA 10s where they can get them that are still around $30 to $50 for Tua, because his market as a whole, like the Field Level Silver PSA 10, now up 23% almost to a trend of $263. Let's look at that Tua rookie ticket auto market. As you can see, here's a teal out of 99 BGS 9 for $1,250, which that was the rate at which the PSA 10s were going for whereabouts before the season. Here you have a red out of 199 PSA 10. You can see that sold for 2,600 Australian dollars. So it's actually converted to 1,675 US dollars. Compare that to an SGC 9.5, the same card just a day prior, for $850. You can see there's that blue. This one's actually blue, true blue, out of 75 PSA 9, $850 before the season started. If I look at that raw Optic Holo market, I do have those Optic Holos now surpassing $50 with a $55 buy it now sold. We've got a PSA 9 close to that mark as well. September 10th, before the season started, that raw was a $31 card. We even had an auction yesterday on that raw Optic Holo get up to $81. Impressive to see how some of these auctions on game day have actually done quite a bit better than the buy it nows if you're not properly priced. Number 4 and 5 this week are going to be owned by the 2-0 Dallas Cowboys. You know, Zach Wilson comes crashing back down to earth this week in spectacular fashion, throwing 3 interceptions, owning a league-low QBR of 38.1 for this game and the week. Micah was a constant threat as a pass rusher, either winning his individual matchup, taking advantage of stunts with incredible speed, or closing quickly on Zach Wilson. He also stripped the ball away from Dalvin Cook on a run play and was ruled down by contact to save a touchdown on the play. And you can see just these rookies and stars, Pulsar here, the Phoenix Fireburst up 17.5%. That rookies and stars is up 20%. The PSA 10s on his base cards up to a trend over $50 on a lot of these cards, including $80 trend on the orange Disco Prism here. His base Prism trend up 10% to $64. When I go back to before the season started, I can find his rookie ticket autos were closing in auction for around $66 to $75. Fast forward to today. Yesterday, you had a well-timed auction that closed for $160 on game day. You also had a buy it now that closed for $100 today. You can see Dak Prescott's stock starting to creep up here just a little bit. A 4% upward trend on the base Donruss PSA 10, 3.5% upward trend on that base Prism PSA 10, silver out of the box from 2016, of course. But that's up to almost $200. I mean, the peak for that card was closer to $400 or $500, but he is definitely climbing in that direction. Not as much so as CeeDee Lamb, though. This guy is absolutely humming. And Dak did have 112 QBR in this game for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Tony Pollard played great in virtually a bell cow role. But CeeDee, man, CeeDee went 11 receptions for 143 yards and almost 30 fantasy points, just further making his case for being an elite wide receiver one this year you should have taken at the end of the first round. The Cowboys are now 2-0, and they get the Cardinals in week 3. Look at this score rookie autographs, blue artist proof here for CD, selling for $110. Buy it now. Or a score gold zone out of 50 in auction on game day for $85. You have one of his red zone rookie ticket autos, PSA 10, selling for $300 today, Monday, September 18th. His Optic Holo PSA 10 selling for $65, or auction 2 days ago for $76. That raw card's still between $10 and $20, but for Justin Jefferson, this is about a $50 raw card. So I could see if CeeDee Lamb continues to produce like this, that card going up in that direction. See small percentage increase between 5 and 10% for his base Prism PSA 10, base Optic, and Donruss rated rookie PSA 10s as well, all around that $30 to $40 range. Number 6, Bijan Robinson. The Atlanta Falcons stunned the Green Bay Packers with a second half comeback to open the season, now 2-0, and a late field goal pushing them to a 25-24 win. And Bijan this week, he saw plenty of touches, recording 19 carries for 5 targets. He turned those targets into 4 receptions for 48 yards and rushed for 124 yards on the day. Just 2 games into his NFL career, Bijan is once again must-watch TV. And you can see his Prism Draft Picks Auto Signing Day, $75 buy it now sold. Monday, I wanted to look at his base Prism Draft Picks to give you a comparison between him and Puka. You saw those cards for Puka climbing upwards of $20. Bijan, that's still a $2 to $5 card, because also college uniform, Bijan's got a wider selection of rookie cards, like this silver Draft Picks rookie here, $21.50. Now we're getting up there a little bit. Snakeskin, $130, buy it now, game day. Draft Picks Gold Brilliance, numbered out of 10 here. Got that gold, even if it is Texas uniform. We do have license on this card, and we do have gold. No rookie card shield, doesn't matter, it's gold, $125. Let's look at what I believe to be the gold standard card for that market right now is the Bijan Robinson Year 1 from Luminance Rookie Auto on card. We have that red ink now up to an average of $230 to $250. Couple big-time game day transactions. Now, we do have an offensive spotlight for Jordan Love because he was solid once again for the Packers for much of this game. I mean, he went 14 for 25, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He averaged 6 yards per attempt and 23 yards with his legs. I mean, he's thrown 6 touchdowns now and no interceptions through 2 games despite dealing with injuries to almost all of his top receivers early in the year. He just was unable to mount a game-winning drive in this game. You can see that his cards have cooled off a little bit, but yet we still have that Optic Holo is still up 12% over the past 30 days in PSA 10. A trend right now almost $200, including that base Prism PSA 10, a trend of $80, which is still up 12% in the past 30 days. We've also got a rookie spotlight in this game on Jaden Reed. He was actually able to step up, and this guy was the story for the Packers. He's a Michigan State standout. He found the end zone twice when he turned 8 targets into just 4 receptions for 37 yards, but did get 2 touchdowns. So I have seen a nice little bump in his sold volume, but still, just a third to a fourth, probably about a fourth, about 25% of that of Bijan Robinson. But nonetheless, I mean, Puka Nacua's Draft Picks rookie autos may be going for close to 100. His are at 20. But nonetheless, we are seeing a buy it now spike, as you can see from all these buy it now sold transactions in the past 24 hours, that Jaden Reed's hype has definitely gone up quite a bit. Now, as always, make sure you stay tuned to the end when I give away some other utilization takeaways, some interesting tidbits that I took down while watching these games yesterday that I think we can apply to moving into week 3 and beyond. We now have a handful of teams that are 2-0 heading into week 3 with some very interesting matchups. Number 7, Mike Evans. Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans was the offensive spotlight player from the game. Bucks beating the Bears at home. Quarterback Baker Mayfield also played well, going 26 for 34 with 317 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and an interception. But Evans had a stat-stuffing day that deserves the nod. He hauled in 6 of his 8 targets for 171 receiving yards and the touchdown. And we'll pop back over to that Baker Mayfield market in just a second as he is number 8. But I want to look at this rookie ticket auto Mike Evans market here from 2014, including this BGS 9.5 rookie ticket auto 10 that was listed for $250, ultimately sold for $199. But I was able to find that same exact card going back to July 23rd that closed in auction for $147. So you can see a 25% increase in the value of that card. So he doesn't have a massive graded database, but he does have an upward trajectory of 12%, the new trend of $35 on his Topps Chrome from 2014 PSA 10. This is going to be one of the most popular base variation cards. Besides the Prism, it's the Topps Chrome, it's the Prism, Topps Chrome Refractor, Prism Silver. When you go back to those 2015 and prior days, especially 2014 is just an iconic year with Big Mike having that first round draft capital. He's got a healthy variety, but only a population of 704 here on these PSA 10s, 54% PSA 10 hit rate. You can see a buy it now of $38. That's boosting up that trend from before the season of $30. But Baker Mayfield now leading a 2-0 Buccaneers team here. Surprisingly, Baker is starting to climb out of a hole himself. That base select PSA 10 now getting up to almost $40, a positive trend of 10%. That stained glass, which is a beautiful card from 2018 Prism and PSA 10, up to a new trend of $222, $265 in an auction Monday, September 11th. That's up over $152.50 in an auction Saturday, September 9th, before the season started, which is why Baker Mayfield has made it here to the number 8 spot this week. And you could put him in the number 10 spot, but I like the increases I'm seeing on him and Mike Evans. Even an honorable mention for Chris Godwin. Rashad White had a solid game too. Back before the season, Baker Mayfield's Silver Prism rookie ticket auto, on-card rookie auto here, was sell for $105. And we don't have a lot of comps for this card because, in fact, they're quite rare from 2018. I'm sure there's a lot of Bakers still stuffed in people's collections somewhere. But we have a base one here that exceeded the value of that Silver Prism, so I can show you the increase there. This base one sold for $110 September 13th. Number 9, Sam Howell. Guys, another unlikely 2-0 start here. Sam Howell and the Commanders are now 2-0, and this was another insane finish from week 2 that you've got to watch if you didn't against the Denver Broncos. Howell's once again kind of up and down. He took 4 sacks, but overall he had a quarterback rating of 108.8. He didn't throw any interceptions, no turnovers this week, and 300 passing yards. Overall, very impressive. And you can see the upward trend. His base Donruss canvas portrait variation here, up 16%. Purple Shock, up 15%. Green Prism, up 15%. I don't see color match in either one of those either. And they're well over $100 on both of those. The base Optic. Now, he's obviously lagging quite a bit behind Brock Purdy. But in terms of Desmond Ridder, who is now leading a 2-0 Atlanta Falcons, but not quite the focal point. In terms of sales volume, Sam Howell is leading that charge. You can see Desmond Ridder going up a little bit here on some cards, but not nearly to the extent of Sam Howell, which is ultimately why Sam Howell earns the number 9 spot on a 2-0 team this week in players going up. And he was aided hugely by Brian Robinson Jr., who really had his first true breakout game here. He had 19 carries for 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. He forced 7 missed tackles on the ground, weaving his way through outstretched arms of Broncos defenders all afternoon. Robinson added even 2 receptions for 42 yards. Taking over a bell cow role here for the Commanders. Antonio Gibson obviously relegated to the doghouse. You can see people starting to spend up big time on some Brian Robinson rookie patch autos. Nice cards. Base black Prism Silver. Still just a $5 card. But the fact that it's selling at all and buy it now on game day for $5 is all you need to know that to know that Brian Robinson's hype has gone up significantly. Red Shimmer out of 35, non-rookie auto, $30. Buy it now. A lot of buy it now sold transactions for Brian Robinson Jr. in the past 24 hours. This Pen Pals Blue Ink rookie auto here, $30. A second-year card, so you can't compare it to the Pen Pals that are out now for the rookies, because Brian Robinson's also got all these other cards out as well. And so we're just seeing a ton of sold volume, clearing out all these lower price tier items. $20 Silver Prism rookie ticket auto. I guarantee we're going to see solds throughout the week heading into next week. Now they're 2-0. And those will start going for 30, closer to 40, you know, and that's the upward trend we're seeing. Here's one for a few dollars more. Silver Prism rookie ticket auto at 24. This is all game day transactions. The floor for those cards is $10 or maybe slightly under if you get lucky. There's a $16 one in auction September 4th. Now for some honorable mentions going up that just barely missed the cut, but they're definitely going up in hype and average resale price and demand. You know, Russell Wilson aired it out in this game, looking pretty good with that deep ball. And the spotlight is actually on rookie Marvin Mims, who was able to put up 23 fantasy points. Only 2 receptions, but it went for 113 yards, including a 60-yard long touchdown. So you see Marvin Mims here getting a little bit of hype boost. Immaculate Collegiate out of 99 going for 30. Some of those legacy futures now moving again for around that $30 to $40 price point. So you can see the auction, the market for Marvin Mims here starting to pick up as if he puts up these big deep ball stat lines with Russell Wilson. This could be interesting when you combine the fact that he is a rookie and has a very limited supply. Here's another legacy futures out of 249 that ended in auction game day, $33. Got to have a Ravens Bengals spotlight. The story of the day was how the Ravens were more efficient than the Bengals, finding success in the passing game and on the ground. Justice Hill, Gus Edwards, and Lamar all ran for 40-plus yards. Lamar Jackson actually went 24 of 33 for 237 passing yards and a pair of touchdowns through the air. Rookie spotlight on Zay Flowers. He was fed the football once again. He got 5 targets and 1 rushing attempt. The run went for just 6 yards, but he turned the 5 targets into 4 receptions for 62 yards and showcased his ability to make plays downfield on a nice 52-yard reception from Lamar Jackson. The Bengals ultimately come away with the win. They are 2-0, but it's kind of an ugly 2-0 here for the Bengals. And like Marvin Mims, Zay Flowers just continues to see some nice sold transactions with a limited rookie supply, not going up by a huge amount, not like Puka or Bijan type of ranges at all, but for a rookie wide receiver in a crowded wide receiver room with Odell and Nelson Aguilar getting a nice touchdown yesterday, and even guys like Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman on that team. His plates and patches rookie auto out of 149 here. Nice patch, $50 in an auction today. Mosaic draft picks blue out of 75. Nice color match there to the Ravens, going for $20. Buy it now today. Zay Flowers orange out of 25 with that Bowman University chrome first. So, like I said, the score rookie auto here, $35 sold. Buy it now on game day is another great indicator. When you look at the bottom of this card, it's just $5 to $10. So you can see Zay Flowers is 3 to 4x higher than that. Some great buy it now sold volume in the past 24 hours. Seahawks Lions spotlight. This was another overtime thriller. The Seahawks scored a touchdown their first possession in overtime to come away with the win. They both go 1-1 now. And although, both quarterbacks played really impressive games in this game, going back and forth, we got to give the nod here to the winning quarterback, Geno Smith. He finished the game 32 for 41, 328 passing yards, 2 touchdowns to Tyler Lockett, and no interceptions. That Geno Smith market having a little uptick here. Primary focus on that 2013 Prism base here, PSA 10, up 9.83% to a new trend of $83. Tyler Lockett market has quite a bit of demand, but not, super crazy resale prices. You can still find people buying stuff like an Immaculate Collegiate out of 99 for $15 in auction. His Topps Chrome is pretty popular. His rookie ticket autos are at just $27 plus shipping, but 13 bids. So showing you, obviously, he does have a fan base, and people do buy his cards. They just don't go for nearly the same amount as a guy that's, a few years younger than him, or, just a rookie. I mean, he put up a massive day yesterday. It's a crowded room. You also have DK Metcalf, one of the biggest athletic freaks in the universe. He did get dinged up in this game, but like Brandon Ayuk, left, came back, finished the game. So, okay, and had a decent game. Always a factor. Immaculate out of 49. Tyler Lockett sold for $54. Buy it now, game day. Colts Texans spotlight. Man, the Colts came away with a big road win within the division. They beat the Texans 31-20. AR scored 2 rushing touchdowns, but on the second one, he took a shot and his head bounced off the turf. That caused him to go into the concussion protocol. He was ultimately ruled out with a concussion. Gardner Minshew came into action, baby, and he did. But AR, fantastic game here. I mean, this is a spotlight for him. He looked really good before he left, and he'll be back next week, the week after at the latest. But my God, that guy is such a good athlete. He's showing to be very promising in the passing game as well. Look at this gold refractor from Bowman University Chrome. It's got that first logo. Big time transaction here. This is a buy it now today. That card ultimately selling for $440. About the same as what it sold for back in the summer. But back in the summer, June 24th, this was one of the few premium rookie cards out for AR. Now you have a much wider selection, which makes this sale that much more impressive. It speaks to the growth of Bowman University Chrome first cards. It also speaks to the growth of Anthony Richardson. You have a ton of buy it now sold items for AR in the past 24 hours. Here's his base elite. This is serial numbered out of 999 here. Nice pro uniform rookie card out right now for him. This is selling for $37. Buy it now. Before I pop over to CJ Stroud to look at what that base elite is selling for, I do have to spotlight Gardner Minshew, man, because he proved going 19 of 23, incredibly efficient, accurate, 171 yards and a touchdown, 7.4 yards per attempt. I mean, he looked well capable of being a starter in the NFL. It was awesome to see that. I mean, he is definitely a starter in this league somewhere. And it's also notable that Zach Moss stepped up here into virtually a bell cow role for the time being. And he boasted 4.9 yards per carry with a touchdown and 4 receptions as well. Michael Pittman Jr., once again, unanimous target leader, asserting himself as the alpha in the wide receiver room. Now, when we look at the sold market of CJ Stroud, he ended up with some big numbers after trailing for much of the game, but he passed for 384 yards at 8.2 yards per attempt. His favorite target was fellow rookie Tank Dell, but he also lit up Nico Collins, as we're going to look at, with a massive stat line. Tank Dell did lead the target with 10, but Nico had 9, so he was right behind him. Tank Dell went 7 for 72 yards and a touchdown. Stroud's biggest issue was pressure and sacks, but he showed he could make all the throws in this game. And I look at his Donruss Elite here as like a premium card for his market, especially with the whole Fanatics versus Panini thing, leaving a lot of collectors questionable about what cards are going to look like in the future once the cease and desist actually goes through from the NFLPA and Fanatics to Panini, and what that's going to look like. CJ Stroud, we know, is part of that Fanatics exclusive deal. So his cards like the Panini Instant, the Donruss Elite. Right now, the Panini Instant, it's a $36 card, the no-name grading company thing. Even this one numbered out at $2,725 from draft night, $7 to $10 card. That rookie auto, this is probably the only rookie auto you'll be able to find. It is the only rookie auto you'll be able to find. This one actually sold for $350 yesterday. Buy it now. I think the seller had this too low, to be honest with you, especially with the whole Fanatics versus Panini thing. Like we mentioned, Nathaniel Tank Dell's market going up. I get excited about this Texans offense because, man, it's very fantasy friendly. Maybe scoring a lot of points. That could boost players up to elite production ranges, which could really take their values up a lot. So even though Tank Dell, like his gold out of 50, just $25, compared to AR. Obviously, massive difference there positionally, draft capital wise. A lot of things to consider there. But let's look at Nico Collins, man. I look at my own comc.com dashboard. I look at a Nico Collins Silver Prism SGC 9 rookie auto. I bought back at the end of July for 15. I sold that for 32, so that was a nice double up there. And I do see some appreciation in Nico Collins, including this flawless rookie gold auto debut, PSA 10 out of 25. You see people are starting to pull out some Benjamin Franklin's, man, and buy some high-end Nico Collins cards, Patrick Mahomes market holding strong. They squeak out a very narrow victory. You could tell that Kelsey, he had 9 targets, 4 more than any other Chiefs receiver, but they just resulted in 4 catches for 26 yards and a touchdown. You can definitely tell that Kelsey was a little bit hampered. He definitely wasn't 100%. He averaged just 1 yard per route run, so that's just half of what he normally can be relied on to produce. You had the ultimately Chris Jones making a massive impact here in this game because he was able to apply insane pressure on Trevor Lawrence and causing him a lot of troubles. It was the sacks that really killed him yesterday. He did find Christian Kirk. Like I've been saying, guys, he spread the ball around a lot. He found Christian Kirk for 14 times. It went for 11 receptions, 110 yards. So yesterday, Christian Kirk was the big winner of the receiving room. It wasn't Calvin Ridley or Zay Jones. Zay Jones had 6 targets, but only had 0 catches. Evan Ingram had a decent line, but ultimately, it was a really tough sledding for the Jags. Very low-scoring affair, too. Trevor Lawrence market, just like Patrick Mahomes, holding strong, though. Base donors up 4%, up 4.5%, up 5%. I don't see it dropping much. I don't see it going up much. Right now, it's more like a push into the next week. Chargers at Titans, man. Justin Herbert was slinging it. Solid 104.2 quarterback rating. Keenan Allen went off 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. But it was all for naught. They lost in overtime. Ryan Tannehill, massive bounce back. Last week, completed just 47% of his passes through 3 interceptions. This week, he went 83% completion for 246 yards and a touchdown. Treylon Burks came up big. Second largest receiving yard total of his young career. 70-yard reception early in the game, which led to a Derrick Henry punch-in touchdown. Tyjae Spears contributed once again in a meaningful role. He's still way behind Derrick Henry on the depth chart, but amongst the rookie running back class, Tyjae Spears is solid. Just when you thought the door was closing on Daniel Jones and the Giants, they battled their way back to relevancy in a stunning win over the Cardinals, who are now 0-2. They got shut out in the first half, and everybody was like, oh my God, the Giants have accumulated since week 1, and now first half of week 2, they've been outscored 60-0, but Daniel Jones was lights out in the second half. Must have been an insane halftime speech from Brian Dable because he was lights out, man. He even had 7 carries for 44 yards, but he went 17 of 21 in the air for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns. Absolutely insane. And Jalen Hyatt made 2 huge downfield receptions, including a 58-yarder on the first play of the second half to give New York life, and then later high-pointed the football perfectly on a 31-yard grab. I look at a couple nice sold transactions yesterday, including a Mosaic Draft Picks Gold out of 10 auto, close to $200, and that Turn of the Century Blue Ink auto, 1 out of 5, about $200 as well. That Blue Ink out of 5, $180 actual sold price. Daniel Jones, some cards holding strong, trying to climb out of that hole. That rookie ticket auto PSA 10 still around $550, and that red, white, blue Prism PSA 10 around $127, and the red Prism from Select PSA 10 still a current trend in the past 30 days, up 10% to about $175. One other notable spotlight for the Rams was the fact that Kyron Williams was once again solid here and the primary running back in both rushing and receiving. for the Rams, and I have seen his sold values uptick like this. Best offer accepted on this rookie ticket auto, which I know has a floor of just under $10. Now I have a transaction at 20. I have another one at 15. So you can definitely see there's an auction on game day at 32. So I'm definitely seeing some nice little bumps here on some of these Kyron Williams auctions from yesterday, including some nice sold volume. One more spotlight for you guys, the Bills-Raiders. Bills bounced back, man, 1-1. Josh Allen finished the day with a near perfect stat line, 31 of 37, 274 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns, 124.5 passer rating. His values are still down after the atrocious week 1, but he is now climbing out of that hole. Gabe Davis emerged as Allen's top weapon in this game. He had 92 yards and a touchdown on 7 targets. And shout out to Shaq Barrett for putting that pressure on Justin Fields and coming away with that pick 6 touchdown. One of the very few interceptions he's had in his career, and that was just, man, that was what a way to end that game. Sorry to all you Bears fans, including my good friends Taps and Steve in Chicago. Tampa Bay got him done 2-0. That's all I got for you guys in today's video. Make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned. Quick disclaimer, I will be traveling for my other job during this week and will not be around tomorrow. Carter will be running the QuestCast tomorrow afternoon. And then Steve and I's live stream on Wednesday night may be affected, but it may not. So stay tuned. I'll update everybody in the community. Peace.